Hello there. It's good to have you join us again on another episode of Health and Environment Insights. I am Kemi Adeni. Today on the program, we're going to be discussing the state of Ondo State environment. It is quite crucial that you know what is going on as regards environment in Ondo State. And to join me in this conversation today, I'm privileged to have the Commissioner for Environment in Ondo State, Tob Loko, is in the studio with me. It's good to have you today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Honourable Commissioner, I know that you're going to keep us abreast of everything that is happening in your ministry. And so I'd like to ask you, in what way can you describe the state of the environment in Ondo State?
Yes, when we're talking about the environment, you first of all talk about the components in the environment.
All right.
And you have the flora, for example, the plants and the fauna. When you're talking about the flora, that's an integral components in the environment. You're talking about plants, flowers, and other kinds of vegetation. Then you're talking about fauna, you're talking about animals, mammals, insects, and other kinds of microorganisms you have in the environment. Okay, there is one distinctive component that coordinates all other components, and that is man. It coordinates and complete the remaining components of the environment to see that we have environmental sustainability and stewardship.
Okay.
And the plants and animals constitute the biodiversity of the environment. Biological diversity of the environment. So when the environment is mismanaged, it leads to loss of biodiversity, and that is a very pathetic situation. And of course, obviously, that is what you're trying to guide against. And to ensure that the environment is not mismanaged, we are making very cautious and deliberate efforts to ensure that the waste generated in the state are properly managed.
Okay.
And that is a component in the blueprint of Mr. Governor for this development of the state. We have a compass, a blueprint for Ondo State. So in terms of what would you give to the environment, and particularly we talk about this management and the state regenerates, and that's our
I'd like you to hold on in 1 minute as regards waste. I want to see their stages. And so we're going to return to the waste because I know that technically you're the number one environmentalist in the state. Now, let me...
number one.
Oh, okay, well, in your ministry, you are the helm of affairs in your ministry. That's what I mean. All right. Now, I'd like to ask, for everything we do, for every assignment we have to carry out, there are some noticeable specific challenges that are quite pressing. Would you like to share one or two of the pressing challenges?
Yes, there are challenges. The challenges are number one is regulated dumping operations. The government is not responsible for regulating dumping operations. So it's on the side of the people. So that's a responsible for people to what trying to do is to for these interests. But now that it is been attributed to what the votes are making, we have participants who came with their trucks to ensure that yes. We have the division arrangement. By that, I think that the state capital is divided into zones. Each zone, we have 1,000 households. So the private sector participant collects waste within this scope. So if we have 1,000 zones, okay, if we have 60 zones and 1,000 households. So if you have 60 zones, it means that we are dealing with the 60,000 people who are generating waste on a regular basis. So how are we collecting waste? It is this private sector people that do it. But we only have less than 40 zones covered. So it means that over 21 zones are covered by private sector participants. So the people living in these uncovered areas come to the road in the middle of the night most times. So when you see waste, waste along the meridians, the people living in these uncovered areas are responsible coming to drop their waste. But when they drop their waste, we allow them to litter the street and make the street very dirty. So it becomes government responsibility to say that the wastes that are dumped by the people are packed. And we are making an aggressive effort to say that we pack regularly. Those areas are flooded. What do we do? Do we have to
Commissioner, I'd like you to hold on a moment. I'll come back to expanding that scope, especially to mitigate flooding. We'll go on a break now. When we return, the conversation will continue with the Commissioner. Don't go away. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is still Health and Environment in Science. And today we've been trying to have discussion with the Commissioner for Environment, Tob Loko, and the state of Ondo State Environment. Now let's get back to where we left off. The channelization. There are flood-prone areas. And what's your plan to expand the drainage system in the state?
Yes, that is in our preventive preventive strategy. You have a flow chart, then it has two legs to put it elementary.
Exactly.
In the first side, we have preventive approach. Under it, we have stabilization and desilting. All right. Now we have a proactive flank of it. A proactive flank ensures that communities that were not captured in our one-team arrangement in most connection. So the things I had are very promising, and by the place of God, we make an operator to its former glory as the cleanest state capital in Nigeria, and accurately cleanest state.
We look forward to you achieving that feat. And so I believe that for what done, they say feedback is a full of champions. And so for the work you have done, we expect that you will do more in the course of time. Now, I would like to ask you about the monthly environmental sanitation exercise. I know for a fact that your team has been going out to carry out enforcement on monthly basis. Now tell me, is this covering the 18 local governments of Ondo State? Or it is just done in the same capital so that probably your principal would know that, the commissioner is out. And it's a two-way question. I'm also going to add, for federal road safety conformities, we have that you have some road marshal, people who have locally in the community that will partner with you to ensure enforcement. So in your field, on your duty, what are you doing to carry out, to carry along the immediate community on enforcement of sanitation exercise?
Yes, enforcement is very important, and it was not as serious as the way we are doing it now. You see me on the road most times, and that is what the governor directed. You don't need to sit in your office. Go on the road, go to the road, and ensure that the state is clean. So what I am doing is not my own initiative. That is what the governor wants, a visionary leader who means well for the state. Now on Saturdays, we do aggressive enforcement. But do you go about arresting people when they don't know when they don't know what you're arresting them for? That is the reason we are trying, firing on all cylinders to raise the awareness level of our people to see that environmental sanitation is taken seriously. And how do we do it? On Friday, we embark on a road walk. We walk the street of Akure. I lead the road walk. And the essence is to create awareness that the next day there will be environmental sanitation. So we just walk on the streets? No. There are people with targets. The Okada riders, the market women. Most times it is the Okada riders that fall victim. All right. So if you don't sensitize them, they will not know the implication of violating environmental law. So we sensitize them, we engage them to see that all of us are on the same page in carrying out environmental sanitation to see that the state is very clean. So we are not limiting it to Akure because there are queries there that what we do is only the state.
Exactly.
But don't forget that Akure is the face of Ondo State. And this is where you most times have dignitaries coming from outside the state. So if Akure is dirty, the verdict will be generalized that Ondo State is a very dirty state. So we are laying a very strong foundation with Akure. And in the shortest possible time, we're going to decentralize our effort to see that more and more local governments are covered.
How soon will that be?
Yes, we are carrying out objective and independent assessment of the level of cleanliness of Akure. Once we are satisfied, and once we see that the people can obey our laws and they can cooperate with us, then we decentralize into other local governments.
Okay, so Honourable Commissioner, what's the level of compliance of this?
The level of compliance is left for people who are watching. But as the Honourable Commissioner, I am satisfied with the level of compliance.
In all the 18 local governments?
No, not in all the 18 local governments now.
Our
point of concentration is the state capital.
Okay.
When we decentralize to other local governments, then we'll be better able to assess their level of compliance. But here, I can tell you confidently that the level of compliance is over 80%. It's over 80%. You know, when we started 2 months ago, when I came on board, Mr. Governor directed that, no, you have to take this very seriously. But you don't go about arresting people without sensitizing them. That's from the government. I agreed with him completely, and that is what we're doing. So we sensitize, then we arrest. When we started, we arrested over 50 offenders. But fast forward to last month, we arrested less than 30 offenders. It's increasing. And you will bear me witness that Akure is becoming neater every day.
We can only get better. But I think in comparison to where we're coming from, it looks.
We are not where we want to be, but certainly we are not where we used to be.
Okay. Now let's talk about the predictions of NIMES and NISA, that's the Nigerian Hydrological Service Agency. The Hydrological Service Agency. Now we know that there are soft predictions that are available according to statistics, especially as regards flooding. Now, what's your level of preparedness to mitigate possible flooding in Ondo State?
Yes, government is not run on emotions. You have to be very deliberate and intentional on what you want to do. You have to be clear-headed and visionary. So when I came on board, before I delve into that arena, let me quickly say that in Ondo State, we find NIMES very credible. So we take their prediction very seriously.
Okay.
So when we came on board, we evolved a strategy to cope with ecological issues like flooding. We came up with a flow chart. In fact, I generated the flow chart, though I received input from other directors and that. We came up with this flow chart that one, we have to prevent, we have to be proactive if we want to deal with flooding. In the preventive approach, we have to identify those areas that are flooded regularly whenever it rains, especially in the coastal line of the states.
Okay.
That is flood mapping. We did selective flood mapping to identify those areas that are regularly flooded. Then we didn't stop there. We went further to understudy the factors that are topographical factors that are responsible for flooding of those communities. It is because of because the drainages are blocked. If the drainages are blocked, we have to desilt. Is it because we have to channelize? If the water concentration is much, you have to create channels for it to flow so that the terrain will not be flooded. So do you have to channelize? Then we channelize where necessary, depending on the peculiarity of the environment. In the preventive approach, we considering the silting, we're considering channelization. But for channelization, the technical assistant to Mr. Governor on the flood matters is doing a very good job. Of course, the state has amphibian machines that we deploy to open up areas where water is concentrated whenever it is raining, and it's doing a very good job. You'll agree with me that recently, NIMET released a warning alert to states when those states was excluded. It was not a coincidence. It's as a result of the very serious effort Mr. Governor is making. Okay. Then in the proactive flank of it, for example, we have done our selective mapping arrangement. Yes. And it has rained. Those places are flooded. What do? We take proactive measures. All right. Do we have to relocate the people in that locality? If we must relocate, the government is ready to relocate. Okay. While you have relocated them, are you waiting for the water, the flood to recede, to go back naturally? By itself. If we must allow the flood to the water to recede, is the component. Okay. We are not allowing the water to recede. Are we channelizing? We have come back to channelization. Are we channelizing? We channelize. We are self-sufficient in terms of equipment to channelize in the state. Okay. Yes. We are self-sufficient. So we channelize. Then, if we must desilt, the silting is because some channels, already existing channel drainages are blocked. So if we must desilt, we desilt. All those arrangements are on ground. Okay, that is why we can confidently say that in terms of flooding, Ondo State is safe. We have nothing to worry about. All right, but I think I want to speak a bit of concern. I'm aware that you're from the coastal area in Ondo State. Now, in your area, what's your plan? Because I know that those type of areas might be flood prone. So what plans do you have in place right now, aside what is going on in the state capital? Because I know that you're not commissioner in Akure. You are the Commissioner for Environment in Ondo State. So what's your plan to expand drainage system? Yes, the drainage system is just a minor aspect of the organic arrangement we have. For example, in the coastal area, the issues we face are ecological issues. If you're talking about flooding, it's an ecological issue. What is that area? Flood prone because of the topography is flood prone. Mm-hmm. But it is not about drainage. It is about concrete issues, ecological issues that face our people. Flooding, erosion, degradation, and sea incursion. I expected you to ask, how are we making arrangements to cope with these issues? But now, let me help the process. Now, for flooding, I have explained to you the flow charts we are following. We don't just deploy machines because a particular area is flooded. There is an arrangement here. And the arrangement that we have perfected to cope with issues of flood is applicable even to the riverine area. Yes. If you're talking about erosion, it is applicable. If you're talking about flood, it is applicable. Degradation is applicable. Degradation comes to, for example, you have water concentration on the portion of the road for a very long time. Yes. The face value of that road degrades. It reduces. That is degradation. Yeah. And over time, it gives way for gaudy erosion. Yeah. Gaudy erosion. So the ecological issues range from flooding, degradation, and erosion. All of this we are going to take care of. Now, the very serious issue is a sea incursion. That's where I was just saying that you mentioned sea incursion. Yes. And it's actually washing off some communities in the coastal area. Yes. What are you doing? It is the inability of governments over time to give attention to the coastal line, especially the larger houses. So the larger houses. Sea incursion is an ecological issue. It is ecological because when the ozone layer is depleted,
Yes.
The free radicals fall into the atmosphere. You know, the atmosphere is where you and I live. The Earth's surface constitutes the atmosphere.
Yes.
And in the riverine area, we are very close to the Atlantic Ocean. And underneath, we have glaciers and permafrost. So the penetration of the UV, the ultraviolet radiation, into the glaciers and permafrost, the ice-like substances, causes the level of the sea to rise. And when the level of the sea rises, communities are submerged because of the topography of the area. Communities are submerged.
Okay.
And when communities are submerged, people become displaced. And that is exactly what is happening. It is from that area, especially Aitoro.
Okay.
People are less okay.
Let me, I apologize. I don't mean to interject, but I'd like to say this. You mentioned previous governments have not been able to do anything. But I want to say today that it is more beautiful because the executive governor of Ondo State is also from the South Senatorial District of this state. And that's where you are also from.
That is why we're taking this here.
And so there should be, and that's why both of you should do something quite exemplary at this time, especially so that the sea incursion problem will be a thing of the past.
We're working out to see that the reclamation is done. We're working out to see that what people see as a disadvantage is not an advantage for the economic growth of the people. We are very deliberate and intentional about Aitoro. And in the weeks ahead, people see results. It's not about theatrics. It's not about, it's not for the optics. We are taking very aggressive moves to see that the issue of Aitoro is a thing of the past.
It's so good to know.
And one other thing is the exposure of our people to free radicals. People do not talk much about it, but it's a very serious issue. When there is radiation of the sun, it causes global warming. But in Ondo State, it's not global warming we are talking about. The free fall of ultraviolet radiation causes cancer. Are you aware?
Yes.
It reduces the immune system. You can research about it. It reduces the immune system. It causes cataract. All right. So there should be a deliberate effort to put our people under tree cover. It is not the trees that you see when you are driving on the road. Deliberate effort to put our people under tree cover so that they can be, insulated from the adverse effect of climate change. And Ministry of Environment, people think we talk about making Ondo State clean, waste management. It's not just about waste management.
There are green practices.
There are ecological and climate change issues that we are addressing beyond the waste management.
Absolutely.
So we are going to unfold some of our programs. And I sincerely believe that the results will be visible for the people of Ondo State under the leadership, credible and visionary leadership, my principal.
Okay. Now, regarding the green practices, we know tree planting should be of utmost concern to everyone. But because of urbanization, I am aware that a lot of people we build our houses, we cut off the trees. What do you have to say to these practices?
It's because of the level of awareness of our people. You have trees around you, you cut them. That is, you cut them. That is not climate friendly.
So how do you intend to
sensitize us? We are going to sensitize our people on a wide range of issues, not just on climate change, environmental sustainability, keeping our environment clean, the need to comply with our environmental laws, the need to encourage planting of trees. They can also plant trees, but that will not be that will not be as coordinated as what government can do. So these are many more areas that the people have to be sensitized to see that we are on the same page in ensuring environmental sustainability and stewardship in the state.
All right. Now, as a professor on duty, I'd like to ask you, what's your long-term vision for Ondo State environment?
It's not my vision. Here's the vision of Mr. Governor.
On your job,
yes,
what do you intend
to
do whilst you're in
office? I am only prosecuting my part of the vision. So it's
so whilst you're in
the vision of Mr. Governor in waste management, for example, we generate municipal solid waste. And by municipal solid waste, we have plastic, we have glass, we have solar panels and some other things in our waste configuration. It is not about packing our waste to the landfill and expect them to decompose. And of course, if you're talking about plastic, it can decompose. These are things we have said every now and then. So we are looking at how we can convert our waste to wealth. The state stands to benefit on multiple fronts from waste to wealth. All right. Now, on waste to wealth, we generate green jobs for our people and generate revenue for government. But how is that possible? That's, I think, should be a concern.
Maybe by the next time I bring you on this program, you'll be able to analyze them also.
We have done the out of that. We are ready to tell our people. Let them be aware of what. We want the people of Ondo State to be aware of what government is doing.
Yes, and that's a bit of it you have enumerated on this program. Thank you so much indeed, Honourable Commissioner.
And by the time we are through,
they
will have a reason to say thank you to Mr. Governor.
Thank you so much indeed for coming. It's good to have this conversation with you. On this note, we'll call it a wrap today. I look forward to seeing you around again on this program. It's bye for now.